So it's like buying insurance just in case shit happens. But the thing is, shit did happen, and now the customer is in his right to claim what he has paid for.
Find certain optional features of the plan, but not that theft protection. It's written right there in the terms and conditions of the contract.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Parts Talk. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now today we're going to be looking back at a video that was posted by Global News here in Canada about a man who bought a brand new Toyota Highlander SUV from a dealership. He was encouraged to buy a protection plan, and that's what salespersons do. They upsell. His SUV was initially stolen later on, so he decided to claim his protection plan. They refused, so he sought help. Let's take a look right here.
Frank Taylor loves his Toyota Highlander. He bought one like this in March of 2021 at Scarborough Toyota, and after some encouragement from the salesperson, he opted to spend $699 on a protection plan.
The plan came with the anti-theft.
Sure enough, a few months after Frank started driving his Highlander, it was stolen.
It was right after my first service call.
Through his insurance, he got a replacement. But what about the money he was owed from that protection plan? He says the dealership and the third-party company declined to pay. The contract says if the vehicle is not recovered or a total loss, he's entitled to $5,000. The
big part of the selling feature of that particular plan, and that's why I went along with it.
Frank had declined.
Let me pause a little bit here, but that's what salespersons are taught to do. They are taught to upsell, and these additions mean more profits for the dealership and also commission from the third-party company that also facilitate these particular insurance plan and protection plan, as it is said. So it's like buying insurance just in case shit happens. But the thing is, shit did happen, and now the customer is in his right to claim what he has paid for.
Find certain optional features of the plan, but not that theft protection. It's written right there in the terms and conditions of the contract.
It was on the bill of sale.
Auto theft involving popular models like the Highlander is a serious problem.
Vehicle thefts have gone up more than 44%.
When we first contacted Scarborough Toyota about that money, the dealership told me they didn't think they sold policies that would cover the Highlander. But they did sell the extra policy to Frank. He tried to get the money from the dealer. He tried to get the money through the manufacturer. He tried to get the money through the province's auto regulator. He'd all but given up till he called Global News. Less than 90 minutes after our calls, Frank got a phone call from the dealership.
Do you have a check ready for me? I got a check.
So what?
An amount of $5,000. Want to say thanks very much for the good work that you did for me. What a frustration. Thanks again.
So the dealership is far more afraid of cancel culture than doing the right thing in the first place. And the customer had to go through the media. Of course, the mainstream media is always hungry for a good scandal. Now, again, I've always emphasized on this channel about leadership. And this is poor leadership on behalf of this Toyota dealership. And all it takes was one individual or one bad apple to spoil it for everyone at this particular dealership. So obviously, this person has no pulse on what is going on in the industry. Bad customer relationship can lead to bad sales and bad publicity, and all it takes is one incident to actually remove all the goodwill that has been built up over the years by this particular dealership.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. New car dealerships routinely push extra warranties, protection plans, add-ons from rust protection to security, and generally these are pricey and of questionable value. But if you do buy one of these, it's important you fully understand what you'll be getting if you need to use the policy. Frank did so. Even so, he couldn't get the money on his own.
So as I mentioned, the person who actually dealt with this in the beginning actually dropped the ball, and they have no idea of what is going on in the industry, and they have absolutely no idea that this is not a good time to be losing customers and for bad publicity. If you look at this article by Business Insider, they're saying electric cars are killing the car dealership as we know it, and the article actually outlined these bulletins, meaning one says after Tesla eschewed the dealership, EVs are poised to change the way we shop for cars. Younger shoppers won't have patience for long trips to the dealership. Changes to the car buying experience won't be limited to EV buying. And another part of the article says that won't go everything is just the bulletin points. The role of the dealer is changing as a result. thanks to the disruption of EVs by car shoppers of all kinds, can expect to spend less time wandering dealership lots, talking with salespeople and haggling over prices. And this also includes the upselling and protection plans that these old traditional dealerships have in place. Younger shoppers have become accustomed to buying anything they want online and won't have patience for long visits to brick and mortar stores, he says. Dealerships are already changing is one of the headlines here, and for car companies there are pros and cons to both the direct sales and dealerships. The direct-to-customer sales model used by startups like Tesla and Rivian create a more streamlined approach to automotive retail and gives the company more control over pricing and customer experience. And let me read further. Companies like GM and Ford are trying to strike a balance between direct sales and the dealership model. At Ford, that has meant implementing no haggle EV standards for dealerships to agree to before they begin selling popular cars like the Mustang Mach E10 and the F-150 Lightning. So I say all this to support the claim that this customer came to you and gave you the business, got a protection plan, and then he got the runaround in order to claim that as which he had paid for. Two things are happening in the industry, as I mentioned before. One, where this article just mentioned about EVs changing the way how vehicles are being sold online now, giving way for people to go directly to traditional dealerships. And two, you have large dealership groups that are going around buying up all the small players in the world, and sooner or later you'll have a number of people out of a job. So the more you build customer relationships going forward is the best way you can maintain and retain those customers in order to remain viable and sustainable in the dealership environment for today. So let me know what you think of this video. Was the customer correct, or do you have your say, or have you had any experiences like this before, or do you know of someone or you personally who have had any type of experience like this in the automotive dealership environment? Let me know your comments below. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. Please smash that like button on your way out. It will only take you 1.5 seconds to do so. Until next time.